Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Stellaris, the Overlord DLC series. I'm your host, Colors Fade. This episode was previously streamed and recorded on Twitch. It's the year 2216, so this is where things stand with our little empire right here. We haven't run into anybody yet, but I have a feeling that that'll change very soon. So let's go normal speed for right now. We may have to speed this up.
Construction complete.
And our lady friend here. Oh, you know what? Let's take a look at that. Settings, sounds, advisor volume. Okay. She's just a little loud, isn't she? We're going to try that. See how that works. Okay, constructorship. What are you doing? Oh, yeah, you're over here making mining. Building that. There's some stuff I want to chat about and talk about, but we'll wait here.
System survey complete.
Until some more people hang into the chat. I'm going to have to move this window, aren't I? Yep, I am. Let's do that right now. I'm going to pause this and give this a move. Streamlabs, OBS, I got one. There's two windows here, two game overlay windows, and I gotta basically move one of them. It's gotta be kind of out of the way. There we go. For me, anyway. You guys aren't seeing this on the screen, but you know how the drill works. All right, back to action here. Got this guy over here. This nice planet over here. FTL Impact. Okay. Remarkable. We get a bunch of physics research. That's cool. Primordial soup. Added 3 society research to that system. Cool. So this is going to be the thing that I want to talk about, is right over here with the factions. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on that. All right, you're working on that. Great. Great. See what else we have going on here.
System survey complete.
That's better. She's not quite nearly as obnoxious. Glancing hit. Yeah, so there's 2 systems. I figured this is the way this is going to work. There's going to be 2 systems, not one nice choke point like there is over here. This is kind of fantastic.
System survey complete.
All right, so the science team has finally breached the underground complex. Ooh, and entered the empty corridors. Long tunnels were completely empty. Archaeologists are now pressing onwards in the bottom chamber.
Complete.
All right. Well, I've never done this origin start before, where you get a archaeology site in your home system, so I'm very curious how this whole thing is going to pan out. What we're looking at is, yeah, this just changed from 13 to 12. Are we in a position yet where we can really do anything about that? Okay, we need to build a city district here. Auto-designated. Okay. Upgrade Ascension Tier. Yeah, those, you must have unlocked 3 Ascension perks to unlock Ascension Tier 1. Auto-designated. Well, I'm not sure I want that auto-designated for right now. Farmer output, agriculture build speed. I'd like that for right now. Let's do that. Construction ship. Okay, science ship. This guy, he's done that. Go over here. Research that anomaly over there. You, my friend, grab this. We're gonna want that. I'd like to get all of this. There's gonna be what? There's gonna be a choke point here.
Scientific breakthrough
And that's gonna
achieved.
be your choke point there. So new research. Survey speed. Automatic survey. Yes, please. Yeah, so we'll get this built so that we can start getting some amenities in here and some law. This is really different. Oh, and it's because he's corrupt. Oh, well. My governor went corrupt. I didn't notice that before, and that was probably the problem on episode 1, is that he was corrupt. So to recruit a different one is going to cost me some of this, and I could get somebody who's anti-crime, unity from bureaucrats, or research. I usually like the research people, but how much research do we actually have going on right now? We have one research lab there. There's bureaucrats there. There's nothing on the new planet. So what would we really like to have? I know we don't want you, so you're gone. You have to go away. Let's grab the science person. And then, yeah. So let's see how that affected it. 3% crime. So I could have grabbed the criming, anti-criming person and it would have been 0. But I'm okay with this because by the time we put some cops on this planet, we'll be fine. So this is research easy, that's fine. Our science team down on Indatamog has reached the bottom chamber of the memorial structure. Here they found an ancient recorded message, some kind of personal debriefing. We failed. The Relentless cut through our entire navy without even slowing down. The Relentless, that's what they call them. All is lost now. We will die here in these halls of tribute to fallen brethren. We fear for the lives of our wards. The Relentless will find them, and then they... And the signal's cut off. Okay. Well, keep digging, my friends. Stay frosty, my friends. Stay thirsty. All right. Yeah, this... gonna have to build a... What do I have? 1.6k? I can build some more ships. Of course, then that... Cascading catastrophe. It's just, oh, we indeed discover life on Warthosk, but by our action it has since been eradicated. Oops. The microbial creatures which lived in the outer edges of the gas giant's atmosphere reacted poorly to our deep scans. Oh. These frequencies caused each creature's cellular structure to resonate, an effect that then cascaded and spread from gas mite to gas mite. Each was rendered inert soon after. Oh. We are now in orbit over the largest graveyard in the universe. Oops. Well. Okay.
Situation log updated.
Well, that's not good, is it? And this is called the Autobest Corvette, but it's not really the Autobest. So, auto-generate designs, no. New design, Corvette. Oh. Okay, give me... Yeah, just this thing. Oh, they still haven't fixed the bug with the sound. Interesting. Interesting. Well, let's do this. Make you the balanced Corvette. Alright, in that case, I don't know how many Corvettes I'd have to build, though, to make that happen. Oops, let's go back to... You trash. Delete. Okay. We go down to 1,000 up here. So we'll see about that as we move forward.
System survey complete.
As we move forward. Hey now. Stop that. We don't need that echo in there. Okay. Science ship, where are you? What are you doing? Oh yeah, so you're over here. And there's an archaeology site there, but that's going to take us a while to do. So I said last episode, in episode 1, which is now up on the YouTube channel, that when I got to here, I thought the smart thing would be to start doing some of these little research deals. And in that case, this is the easiest one. So go do that one. I do kind of want to know what's out here, but I don't really want to run into anybody just yet. So
Construction complete.
what is this? You got a research project here, and this is... Okay. Head scientist Paraknik wanted to comb through every nook and cranny of the memorial site, and it paid off. Good work. With their mental faculties shut off, their very intellect removed, they would pose no threat. It must be enough. It's the only thing left that we can do. The device also includes some new coordinates. Yeah, of course it does. Alright, so you, my archaeology brother. New coordinates over here. Tarakmog. Alright, that's cool. Steve says, no effing way. Yeah, well, no, what do you mean, no effing way? No effing way that I'm back here doing this? Well, hey, Steve. Good to see you. Thanks for showing up on the channel, man. It's awesome. It's awesome to see people. Oh, I'm glad you missed me. I missed you too, man. I miss being here. I miss Twitch. I really wish I had more time to do live streams, especially with games like this where it's easy to have a conversation and play at the same time. That's the ideal. Okay, so over here, let's put, man, I hate having to put cops down first, but, well, yeah. Because what? Amenities, citizen pop happiness. From pops, from governor skills. 2% crime isn't a big deal. I think I'd rather have something else down here. We're gonna need this. Let's wait. Let's build this. Oh, or do we need food more? Missed you playing Stellaris. Exactly. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I know. I have to relearn parts of the new game, but I was going to spend some time early in this episode. This is all going to get chopped up, by the way, into like 45-minute segments and put on YouTube for anybody that wants to watch video on demand instead, as I normally do things. But I am going to want to spend a little time talking about these factions because this is actually kind of cool. But I got to figure out what to build on this darn planet first. I think... Let's build this... Because this consumer goods are going to be a big bottleneck to us going and colonizing this other planet, which I'd like to do right about now. The alien mural.
Situation log updated.
This has some mining and not much else, so it's going to be industrial as well. So let's just do that. Gomesia. Yeah, so yesterday there was talk on the Twitter channel, and if you don't have Twitter but you're thinking about it, do it to follow me because I'm on there a lot. And I mentioned doing some Twitch streaming this weekend. And I figured the smartest thing to do was an early morning stream, my time, so that people around the globe who watch me could get in on it. And then I'll do one later tonight so that people on American time zones can have a chance to watch too. So yeah, Steve, it's 9 p.m. there. That's awesome. You're here. This is great. I'm going to be on for at least an hour, so it'll be cool. Mining station output, basic strike craft, robot workers. There we go. So I want to talk about this real quick because this is kind of cool. These factions earn our magic unity over here instead of the old school influence. In beta testing, they still did influence, and I was unhappy with the changes that they were making in the beta branch before they pushed this patch out. And so I have a post on the Paradox forums, and I reposted it on my Twitter channel today, on my Twitch feed. I actually cut it out and posted it because the words are there. I was the one who suggested it should be unity for factions because it just made logical sense. And my suggestion was that factions that more closely adhere to your belief systems should earn more unity. That just made sense to me. And I have a post where I broke that all down and stuff like that, but it's on the Paradox forums. So when I started playing this earlier this week and I got to it in the first episode, I was kind of shocked. I was so shocked I almost didn't know how to... I just kind of passed it off like it was nothing. I was like, it was tweaking my brain. I had to go back this morning and find that post on the Paradox forums, and I'm like, I really did suggest that, and now it's in the game. So this is kind of cool. Because my point with making this unity was people don't spend a lot of time manipulating factions. They don't really feel like it's worthwhile to spend the influence manipulating the factions because I don't get anything out of that. But I thought if you're going to make Unity a bigger impact in the game, this makes all kinds of sense. It makes sense that people that more closely adhere to your beliefs would provide more Unity for your culture, for your civilization. So you would want to suppress the factions that don't, and you would want to promote the factions that do. And I'm just surprised it's in here, actually. Benevolent subjugation policy. So I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to this as the game goes on. But for right now, I'm just kind of shocked that it's even in there. So origin start, where we get an archaeological site at the beginning of the game, is something that I've never done before. So I just wanted to see how it worked. Gigantic skeleton. Yeah, we got all these things up here that are all going to take way too long. Oh, they're working on this. Oh, okay, he's working on that because it's science ship thing. All right, so the last bastion, there was no need for shovels or drilling lasers this time around. Head scientist Paraknik and the archaeology team simply walked into the alien ruin. The site is very old, more than 1,000 years, but fairly well kept. It appears to be some kind of staging area built for a specific purpose. There are several laboratories and large storage hangars. The team have found a digital archive server. It's offline, but appears fairly intact. Hopefully it will fill the blanks regarding our lost benefactors. Ooh, well, in that case, keep digging.
System survey complete.
And you just keep researching projects, baby. All right, so we get our next pick. Leader experience gain. We don't have a lot of leaders yet, so it doesn't really matter. Research station output would be nice. Pop growth speed would also be great. Let's grab that. I don't normally go for 2 at a time here. I usually do one and finish it and do the other and get the ascension perk, but the early ascension perks I don't think are as impactful as the later ones, so it's okay to do this, I think. Grants a lump sum of Unity. How much? Oh, well, I must have missed how much it was. Pop growth speed. Edicts fund plus 20. Yeah, because edicts now take Unity as well. Food from farmers. That would be kind of important. Pop growth speed, though. We can make more farmers. Let's get the pop growth speed. Let's do that. I really want to live peacefully against these guys, but in order to go check out this dead end here and see if there are any cool planets, we're going to have to kill them, it sounds like. The phrase mind wipe initiative occurs frequently throughout the logs, and it appears to have been the specific focus of research at this location. Apparently, the benefactors developed the technology by which they could manipulate the effectiveness of mental faculties, but how or for what purpose remains unknown. Well,
construction complete.
Okay, so and here's another planet, and what's it look like? Oh boy, so I don't know if I think I'm just getting unlucky. These are all small planets. I think that's all it is. It's just unlucky. Starts for contact with the Ada aliens in the CU system. Ooh, where's that at? CU. Oh, right there. Okay. Well, let's put somebody on it then. Convict. I would guess that this is going to be a legit species here. Can we get a look at them? Yeah, that's somebody. That's somebody. It's not a strange alien or anything. That begs a lot of look at the trade here. Ooh, there's 16 trade there. I'm gonna go grab that.
Situation log updated.
Yeah, so this is gonna be our first entity, and we have peoples who are getting hungry.
Special project complete.
We have what? 2 jobs available here because we got colonists. Switch over to doing that, please, so we don't starve. Crescendo. The ship has taken off. We know they'll succeed, but there was no sense of hope or the high spirits as they left. We know that the mission and the work we've done here are wrong, despicable, but the alternative is worse. That is one of the last entries found at the ancient facility. Okay. Sounds like we might be getting closer to the resolution of that whole thing. There's 16 trade over there. That's nice. What's over here? You're surveying. Are you finding anything of interest? Any habitable planets? Leave be for now. I want you surveying. What's this? These look like habitable planets. Toxic world, barren world, barren world. Oh, okay. Maybe not. They just look better than they are. Barren world. What is this? Barren world. Wow. Frozen world. Okay, so there's gonna be some habitable planets there for certain kinds of species. This is all done. Clearing out the storage areas, one of the workers found a small device of unknown origin. It was brought to our scientists and turned out to be a recording device. It was badly damaged. Shouldn't be forgotten. Someone has to come clean and speak up for them. History may endure, but my conscience cannot. A string of data was first discarded. As noise was investigated further, it turned out to be encrypted coordinates, and onward we move to the next one. This is a long event chain. Wow. Okay. That's kind of cool. So where do you have to go now, buddy? Encrypted coordinates. Okay. Yeah, right there. Somewhere else in our system. Doing a lot of exploring there. And what is this thing over here? Mega structure.
Scientific
What do we
breakthrough
have here?
achieved.
A ruined orbital ring.
Anomaly found.
So this is from the new DLC, I believe. I think this is a election. Oh, well. Okay. Let's take a look at that. Ceramo metal armor is almost done. Planetary build speed. Robot modification points. Don't care so much about that. That's going to cost research time that we don't have right now. But I'd like this. Boy, both of these technologies. Planetary build speed. Let's do that. Okay, so the election. What are we going to use to help push this election along? It costs unity. Now this is where it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. See, it seemed like Paradox really wanted to take Unity because they felt like it wasn't being used for anything other than unlocking Ascension perks and traditions, and they wanted to make it more impactful in the game. I'm all for making things more impactful if they're not doing their job, but I like it to make sense, and this, when it was influence, made sense to me. The idea of taking Unity and spending it to nudge an election, that's not how it works. Influence, though, you can influence elections. So I know everybody has griped for a long time about influence and how it feels like it's a huge bottleneck in the game, like it's used for too many things. And I get that, but I wouldn't have made this change. And so at 2,000, I'm not going to obviously do anything, so I'm going to abstain. We'll see who we get. Develop initiative. I'd like to get this guy, Skarzon Vek. You, my friend, would be fantastic. I don't care about the defensive platform stuff. Leader lifespan, 25 years, and food from jobs, though, would be good. Trade value, we're not doing any trading. Science ship build cost. I don't want this guy. This is who we're going to get, is Gagnik Vagas. I don't want him, and we're going to get him. Championing the people happiest. Monthly unity plus 10%. That'd be fine. Leader experience gain. He'd be fine. This person would be fine because of these things up here. And Skarzon Vek would be great. Mining station output. Leader level cap and leader experience gain. And minerals from jobs. Him or Sapra would be the most important ones. Strategos Raid Macan will rule. Raid Macan.
Special project complete.
Happiness. Monthly. Okay, so this was the third choice. I'm fine with that. That's cool. You're alright. On the shoulders of giants. Alright. That's our origin. That's cool. Special project complete. Yes, alright. Back to work. The election's over. Back to work. Okay. And leader experience gain plus 25%. Monthly unity and happiness. Those are all good things for us, so I'm fine with that. Totally fine with that. I would like maybe one more construction ship soon, maybe. Like, these guys are still floating around here. we're only at 349. Which reminds me, like I said, I don't want to have to kill them, but they have only armor. Ooh, okay. Since they only have armor, let's go make a new design on a Corvette that's going to have this. It's just going to be armor killer right here. Armor damage. We need to make these
The conquest of a new world has begun.
And what kind of damage do they actually do? Those amoebas. I'm gonna guess. I could go look it up, but that'd take too much time. So let's do CBA for amoebas. Save those. That way we can transfer everybody over if we want to go kill them. Amoebas. Yeah, I guess. Because you don't know. We do not have enough intel and we still can't get any. Which is still find surprising. I wonder if there's a way to deal with it that I just don't know about yet. Maybe they fixed it. The team was sent down to the surface, encountered far more obstacles than anticipated. Oh. That's what happens. What do we have here? Mysterious spacefarers. Following the sighting of the unidentified spacecraft in the CU system, all forces in the vicinity have been ordered to assume a heightened state of readiness as per standard protocol. Intelligence is still analyzing what data we have on the bogey, but it appears capable of hyperspace travel, yeah? Okay, keep at it. I'm gonna figure out who those birds are. Doing. No orders. Oh, did we lose a scientist? Hold on. We lost a scientist. Did people die and I don't know about it? What happened? Oh my gosh. Okay. Leader experience gain. So 250 of that. And this guy's research. Hey, hold on. I said stop. I said stop, darn you. Alright, you. I don't want to. I just want to do surveying right now. We need to figure out what's going on over here. Let's find that out. What about you? You have no orders. Where are you? You're over there. You finished researching that thing. Okay. Tell me what's over here. I'm just too curious. I have to know. Alright. You build. I want that trade. That's going to be fantastic. For just a regular old trade node. Interesting. Okay. Well, well, well. Reversing deep scan polarities. It's done miraculously. Once our scientists installed the proper modifications on our vessel, they were able to recreate the initial cascade. This time, the effect was different, and the life started springing back up all over the planet in a great way. The process has taught a lot about the universe, but perhaps even more about ourselves. Society research gained. Added a bunch of research to Werthosk 4. Unintended genocide modifier removed. Fantastic news. Okay. Archaeology team that was investigating the natural cave down on Rocknum, Moog, have reported back. Found a tremendous abandoned stockpile of valuable resources. Well, there were no doors, no locks, and no traps. That seems suspicious by itself. Just a cave full of industrial valuables. Okay. Research, my friends. What are we doing here? Mining station output, coil gun, Corvette hull hit points. Lots of good stuff here. Let's get that mining station output though. It's kind of the next big thing. What do we have there? You're done doing research projects over there. Okay. Tell you what, there's a bunch of research projects over here. Onward. So if we refit these guys.
Construction complete.
Construction complete, it says. Well, now I gotta figure out. So, where are we at here? We're at 90. We're about to start taking the penalties. I'm really curious about that. I'm gonna be taking a bunch of screenshots of that and doing some math on it. First contact protocol advances with the Eta aliens. We really need to get you back here. Actually, I'm gonna leave you there because if we end up wanting to grab this really fast, we're gonna need you. What we're gonna do instead is build another, not a Corvette, a construction ship, and move it. Okay. Empire size from systems and colonies is reduced. Well, that'll prevent us from having a penalty for a little longer. So it drops us from 90 to 81. You're eventually going to take it, but anything we can do to push it off until later would be good. What I want to do is come down here and get at least to here for a choke point. This is a great choke point. Of course, it's not enough to do this. You really have to take the systems around it so the AI won't leapfrog
System survey
you.
complete.
Okay, I'm going to do this with you. We're going to have you survey all of that. We're just going to find out what's out there. Meanwhile, we're going to take this dude, bring him over here and say, hey, build that. Alright, so this construction ship can kind of sit there for a minute. For a hot minute. Encounter an Escala beta aliens. Oh, right here. Okay, well, we have people for that too.
We have established a new planetary
A new
base.
colony. Join the off-world colonies. Okay. Autochthon monument. Let's do it. And then build a city. Chonk. And then build some mines. Chonk. And over here, the archaeology team found a collection of data snippets. Okay. A synaptic dampener bomb was triggered on our home planet. It did nothing to the ecology, but the pulse affected our ancestors' brains, reducing them to primitives. Wow. The token left behind for us indicates that the benefactors eventually sought redemption. They bombed themselves back to the Stone Age? Quite literally, it sounds like. Okay. Yes, do this. You can see, that's why we left you over here. Now you can do stuff like that. That's really nice. That is really nice. +3. Okay, yeah, so 75% approval. Anti-autocratic, free movement, benevolent subjugation policy. Our subjects look to us for guidance and protection, and we should strive to repay their trust by respecting their liberties. Adopting a benevolent approach to subjugation will please. A benevolent approach to subjugation. Is that a policy I can change? Subjugation, war terms, benevolent. Initial agreement terms, integration prohibited, independent diplomacy.
System survey
So this obviously has to do with Overlord and its new like vassalization thing. Joins Overlord wards defensive, joins subject wars defensive, subject holdings limit 1, balanced. We believe in treating our subjects fairly. Perhaps in time they will see the wisdom of our ways and the errors of theirs. Integration prohibited. So oppressive, integration is permitted. Well, if it's not permitted on balance, that's the only reason I'd want to keep it is for the integration part. So go ahead and change this. And then that'll make them super happy and we'll get more from them. We get up to 10 now. Yes, 9.3. Oh, yeah. That's what we want. Okay. So the Red Legion, local rivalry, imperial hegemony, installing ourselves as an overlord of one or more foreign powers will please the Red Legion. Benevolent subjugation policy. Strong rule, the weak serve. Showing compassion towards our subjects will upset the Red Legion. So we want to suppress these guys, but I think suppressing them probably costs something here. What's it cost? Does it say? Giving the following: faction approval minus 50%, militarism suppressed modifier. I give the militarist ethics attraction minus 75%. But it doesn't say it costs anything. Usually it used to cost influence. I'm a little weary to pull the trigger on it. Oh, to embrace a faction is going to cost a whole bunch of unity. Oh, okay. To promote a faction costs nothing. You just have to do it. This sounds like a trick. I'm not sure. The Xeno Justice Foundation. Indirect Xenology. Legislating a passive steady stance on native interference will please the Xeno Justice League. New contact. Establishing communications with other empires will please them. Indirect Xenology. Okay. Passive study stance. Orbital bombardment, native interference, passive study, unrestricted. Observation stations can perform all types of studies. Observation stations are limited to passive study. I'm going to do that just so I can get some more out of that faction. 8 and 10, that's cool. So we could suppress these guys. Installing yourselves as an overlord, though, that's something I actually kind of want to do. Interesting. It's interesting because these guys are not necessarily a faction that I want anybody following, but they don't provide negative unity. They just provide low unity. I'll take that. I'll take low over negative. Dark secret. Communications established. Okay. First contact aborted because communication has been established. What's this say, though? The inconsistencies in our history have been explained. Using these lost chapters from our true heritage, we had once believed that the advancement of our civilization came of our own accord, solitary and independent. Now we know that in all time we have been standing on the shoulders of giants. We cannot change the past. We reconcile and we move on, accepting our past not as a dark burden, but as a stepping stone on our path forward into the future. It is our time to become giants, spurred by the past modifier add. Oops, excuse me. Giving the following effects: monthly unity +5, happiness +5, gathering in ethics attraction +10% in research. Yes. Oh, I like this origin. I like it a lot. Okay, interesting. Communication established. Here we are, incoming transmission with is the first contact with the Rayan regime. Alien creatures, I speak on behalf of Grand Marshal Brethen, the undisputed ruler of the Rayan regime. Respect our borders and keep out of Rayan affairs, and perhaps our mighty fleets will refrain from visiting your wretched worlds. They are authoritarian, xenophobes, and militarist. Ooh, we are not delighted, but I'm just going to say that anyway. Momentous occasion. So the Rayans are over here, and you could see they're bumping up there. So
survey complete.
I think it would be a good idea to get over here and cut the Rayans off. You, what are you doing? Yeah, go over there and survey and survey. Okay, that'd be a good plan. Let's go cut them off. They're not friends. They're not good friends with us. Okay, so you're done. This whole thing, this whole archaeology deal is done. All right, you can go back to researching and surveying things. And this one, keep at it. First contact over here. Oh, incoming transmission. First contact with the Synthoid continuity. Uh-oh. I like the way they look. That's a great design. Of course, this design here is, I don't know if it's purposely paying homage to it, but I think it might be to the design of the AI robots at the end of Steven Spielberg's AI movie. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Actually, I shouldn't call it Steven Spielberg's movie. He finished it. Gene clinics, yes, please. Yeah, that was a Stanley Kubrick film. In fact, does it say Stanley Kubrick on the front of it? I can't remember. It's been so long since I watched it. All right, so you guys are done there. Go research the project in that system. What do we have here? Yeah, the Rayan regime. They're like, we want to keep going in this direction, and I'm like, I'm gonna try to go cut you off. Oh, and this is Alpha Refuge, the Synthoid community. Okay. Oh, look, they started on a ring world. Well, good for them. Okay. See, so here is... Oh, but this goes off in this direction. I was thinking this is another isolated wheel over here, but it's not. We'd have to choke point in three different directions with that. So this is still going to be kind of key. You're doing that, and then when you get done, please go grab that, because that is a choke point. And since it has a planet on it, if we can ever get it colonized, we'll be able to put defenders on it, and then it becomes a true choke point. You guys... I don't have a leader. All I want to do is fleet manage you, and it's been so long since I've done it, I can't remember how to do it. Right there. Fleet manager. I want to change you to the anomaly class. Okay. The Amoeba class. Because I think, yeah, upgrade fleet. Shattered world, and we're gonna add a few more of you, and then reinforce you. We'll see if we can't go get these amoebas out of the way so we can send our science ship back down here and discover all of this. That would be the way to do it. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right, so Maneth now has
construction complete.
Unemployment. We only have 9 food, so we're gonna do that in another city and unlock a slot and add holotheaters there so they can start doing that. Science ship.
Our ships have been made superior.
I want you to come down here and try to survey this system. We're gonna try to go blow these guys up. It's gonna take a little bit. You're at 10 of 20. Okay, here we go. In that case,
System
let's do this. How much is this gonna cost? 904? Do it. Clear signal found. It's the screeching noise of the aliens. We're at 88 for that. Take screenshots. I really want to run the math on that later. I'm thinking I'm going to be very interested in how it turns out. Well, you're still not over there surveying it, so we can't grab that. Science ship. Yeah. Oh, and he moved. Okay. Can you get down here?
Special project complete.
You can't. Okay.
System survey complete.
Here's the thing. Stop for a second. No, don't do that. That's not what I meant to do. So you... Alright. Try to get down here. These guys keep moving around. We're just gonna have to blow them up. Because the project to make them pacified is 112 months. It's a lot of physics research. That's too long. That's what? 7 years? 7 years. Yeah, it still feels like too long. The flip side is that we have you guys just do stuff like this. Go over here and research things. Maybe we can pacify. Maybe we can. Beta aliens. They're hostile. No. That's not what we wanted. Okay. Well. You guys get done with that. You may want to come up here in private land. This is going to be bad, isn't it? Well, in that case, upgrade. We're going to have to make you a defensive area here. Don't like having that many hostile neighbors early, but move there. What's everybody look like? Oh, they really don't like us either. Slaving despots. Improve relations.
Scientific breakthrough achieved.
Maybe we can make them friends. Looks like all we have are hostile people around us. So, yay? Yay. The hostility is here. Great. For the purposes of brevity, I have chopped up the Twitch stream into several smaller episodes for upload here on YouTube. As always, if you dig the episode, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave your questions and comments below, and I'll see you around next time. Happy gaming.